Guys, this is your Educator Buka channel. It's about for those who want to improve their financials, who wants to learn some topics which are not gonna be officially published in typical media. Those who are interested to learn about investment and wants to make something better not only for you but also for your close friends or family. This time video is gonna be in English, so non-Polish speakers can still learn with us. And remember, guys, that we learn to use the knowledge in real and to help others. Today's topic is about reverse market crisis, in which I'm gonna to tell you what is the crisis, what are the type of crisis, explain you what kind of current crisis we have, from when it started and why it happened, and how to get prepared for the current crisis. Definition of crisis we can define as the situation in which the standard of living of people is worse than it was, and also that people cannot afford same quality of the life due to the macroeconomic circumstances. There are two types of the crisis. One is deflation one, and second one is inflation one, which can be also categorized as a hyperinflation. Deflation crisis is the crisis which was with us in 2007-2008. It's the crisis in which the asset prices going down. So we had the housing market crash due to the fact that banks were giving loans to many people that part of them was not able to repay the loan, the mortgage loan. And when few people and more people could not repay the loan, then the house, so the real estate, was coming back to the market because bank was secured by in case if somebody cannot repay the loan, then the bank can take the house, can take the real estate and try to sell it in the market. But what happened is that there were so many people not able to repay the debt that basically there were so many offers of the houses and people didn't want to buy it. And in that case, we had a crash, the asset prices went down, we had a crash of real estate went down by around 30%. We had also drop of the stock market, including the S&P, which went down by around 56%. In that period, basically people, the profits of the business is going down because people are losing the jobs. There is collapse of some businesses, some financial institutions, and as it's everything, the economy is connected, then as one institution go bankrupt, then another one and another one and another one. So in that way, there is the businesses have less profits, there is less clients who are willing to spend and invest, and then as the income go down, then usually what the company did, they had to dismiss employees, so that's why the unemployment rate went up, as it's the fixed cost which is easy to cut, and in that way the companies can make some savings. And when there are no jobs, there is high unemployment rate, then again, clients cannot buy products because they don't have money. Then we have another type of crisis, which is inflation crisis, which also was with us in 90s, 20s. It was after the World War, in which basically there was a devaluation of the currencies, as it was after the war period time. The Germany in that time was not able to survive, so the government, central banks decided to start printing extra, increase the supply of the capital, so increase the money supply. So they increase the fiats, and fiats are in that case, in our case it's dollar, but in that period of time was marks, that was the currency. So they start printing a lot capital to be able to recompensate the losses in economy. And as there was a devaluation, so the purchase power of the fiats went down, the asset prices went extremely up. And here we have a chart of the gold, in which you can see how big change, how much the gold increased comparing to the fiats. So after a bit, of course, the income, so the salaries of people went a bit up, but the difference between increase of asset price comparing income, it's much different. And here we have 2020, in which we got a biggest pandemic, which happened due to the one type of a virus. And in 2020, we had from 2020, we have slowly the lockdown period, in which the government stopped the businesses, the economy. And because economy cannot be stopped, then we got a reaction. So as government stop businesses, people could not work, the businesses could not generate profits, so central banks, government decided to give money to people so they will not go bankrupt. And it was, for some people, it was really nice period because they didn't have to work and they got money from nothing. Not working, but getting paid. But what central bank had to do, they had to have this capital. So what they could do and what they did and what they keep doing, they start printing fiats. So US dollar and another currencies. So in 2020, it started from 3 trillions, which was printed by central banks. And this money went really fast to stock market, to assets. When the central banks print money, there are financial institutions, and financial institutions usually invest in assets. So that's why we got high increase in that period of time of at the beginning little bit downtrend, little bit crash for a short period of time in the stocks, in cryptocurrencies as well, and then we get pullback and we went up and up. But I'm gonna to tell you this a bit later on. There are two types of the crisis, as you guys know. Which one is better? Deflation crisis. One more time, the asset prices are really low. They go down. What does it mean for those who are young? Or what does it mean for us, what we should have done in that period of time? it's better to have a cash, because when we have a cash and the asset prices go down, we can buy assets cheaper. And then everything starts from zero, kind of from zero, because there is a reset of the prices. And now let's compare it with inflation crisis, in which we have higher prices of the assets. What does it mean is that the price of assets, let's say apartments, the real estate, are going higher and higher and higher. And here there is no reset. It's just going up and up, which is a bit harder for those who just start to generate wealth. So here we have 2020, and I want to tell you what kind of crisis we do have. Market reversal crisis. What this crisis means, I explained to you. It's a process in which the asset price is going up, the purchase power of the currencies go down, and the income probably will go a bit up, but not as much. So what we should do, what should we do in that scenario? In this scenario, we should be investing in assets. And it's not that assets increase of their value, but that currencies decrease their value. What it means is that it's better that buying same products with same amount of money, we can buy less. The purchase power of the currency go down. So that's why we think that the asset price going up, but in general, it's mostly because of the less purchase power of the currencies. So we investing in the assets such as commodities, which can be divided into gold, silver, oil. That's the assets which basically show us that the value of them are going up and up. Why? Because there is limited supply. I agree that gold we can make a process of having more gold, but in general, these commodities are limited. And here, one more thing which I wanted to explain you one more time. I want to explain to you to understand what happened to us. We got lockdown. The economy got blocked. We didn't have businesses. The central banks decide to print money. What does it mean, printing money? Many years ago, in the previous financial system, dollar was backed up by gold. In USD notes, there is written that every note should be backed up by gold. What does it mean is that there was a real value and purchase power of the dollar. But after there was a discussion between the central banks, they decide to remove this rule. And after that, central banks can print unlimited amount of money to the market. Another point which you should know is the structure of central banks. There are central banks of countries such as Poland, US, Japan, EU, and so on. But there are world central banks. So what central banks does, they follow what the world central banks will tell them to do. By IMF, that's the central banks of all central banks. So when they decide to keep one strategy, let's print as much money, we are gonna to fix the economy, which is not true. we are living in a huge debt. There is really interesting chart in which we can see that basically the debt which we have, the world debt is higher than the value of all assets in the world. Coming back to to what to do in a market reversal crisis is to buy assets. I talk about commodities. We have real estate. We have also Bitcoin, which is a cryptocurrency, which has done the best performance in 2023. But this is another topic to talk about. Another thing is to develop businesses and use leverage. Leverage, it means to use the loans to buy faster the assets. And here is why. If we know that the asset price will go up and it's running faster and faster, so we cannot catch it on time, then using debt will help us to catch the asset, so to buy the asset, and then we know that this asset will have higher price. So basically we repay the debt, but we have much more because the price of what we bought has increased. To explain you what I personally expect is that, and it's not even what I expect, but it's already happening, that one property, even small one, has extremely high price. If we look in the market, let's say Warsaw, capital of Poland, buying property for less than 5,000 euro per meter square is difficult. What it means that normal person with normal salaries are not able to buy this real estate, this property. I believe it's gonna be the beginning of hyperinflation. Why? Because I see what central banks are doing. They keep same strategy. We have problems, something can collapse, we print money, we put liquidity to the market, and the money goes to stocks, real estate, and other type of assets. So why the rich are getting richer and why poor are getting poorer? Because they know which way to follow. They understand if we are gonna to have deflation or inflation crisis. So if they know that we are expecting the inflation crisis, they bought long time ago the assets which had a lower price, and now basically they just keep them and enjoy the compounded interest coming from their investments. So here, guys, it's all. That was my personal opinion about the mentioned topic. Keep in mind, guys, that are not financial advices, just my personal opinion. See you guys. Good luck.